What's up, guys? Good morning. Good morning. Today is the 26th of November, and yeah, as you can see, today, the third day of Black Friday is going very, very well for this store so far. 10,000 euros in sales. Today only. Right now it's 9:14 a.m. and we are already. I'm already at. Let me see. Over 1,000 euros in sales. And you should remember, like, we started this store just 28 days ago. So conversion rate of 3, like this early in the morning, is definitely very, very, very decent. Also with the spend, which I will be showing you in a second, is absolutely insane. We are spending just a very little. ROAS is around between 2 to 3 for this new store. Scaling products right now. As you can see here as well, just one checked out, 2 active cards, nothing to complain about. So far today, also show the analytics. I will show you guys basically in a second how the Facebook dashboard is looking and what we are doing there in order to give you some insights, just to keep things transparent. But yeah, as you can see, today is going very well. And overall Black Friday, to show you in here as well, 10,000 euros in sales so far, which is of course very decent. Pacing towards a new record day today, I guess. And to show you guys on the inside as well, let me switch over. Keep in mind, Facebook is like very, very weird sometimes, right? With tracking, as most of you guys maybe know already. But that means basically that everything that's showing up in here could just not be very accurate. That Facebook is like most likely 2 or 3 basically conversions on average out of the 5 they are leaving behind. So if we only go to today, we have spent 357 so far and got over 1,000 euros in return, which is great. So that means over 3 ROAS, which is quite good, of course. Also testing new products, of course, which will like drop the ROAS a bit for the ones that just won't work. But yeah, on average testing 5 to sometimes 10 products per day. And during this Black Friday, like my biggest tip, I got 2 tips for you today. First one is always take a look at how much you're able to spend for a specific product in order to get profits in return. Because during these times, it is super hard for some people to actually track, okay, how much am I spending on ads and how much am I actually getting in return? Because I can tell you, like, most people will overspend on Black Friday. They say, oh, now I need to spend everything I have in order to get returns, right? And they will see here a spend maybe of like 500-600 euros and they get maybe 800 in return, which means you will be most likely unprofitable depending on your selling, or basically your selling and buying price or your margin. But always keep in mind and monitor accordingly, like during the day, analyze your ads and tweak your ads as well during the day to actually rely on your profits. Because you can, have like decent numbers in here and you can have, let's say, you can say, oh, nice, look how good it's going. I got 1,000 euros in sales. But if you have 900 euros in ad spend, you're losing money. So it's super important during these times, even more during Black Friday, to actually monitor how everything is going. So far, like 10,000 euros in sales, right? For this weekend so far, which means from the 24th to the 26th. If we compare that to the spend we have had on Facebook, that will be 3,000. So that means we get, with 3,000 euros spent, we get 10,000 in return, which is well over 3 ROAS. And even if you're around 2 ROAS, you should be profitable. So that means we are very profitable right now. I also told my team to really be on top of the performance of the ads, first of all, but also the performance of your funnel. Because if there is one thing going wrong in your entire funnel from ads to making the purchase, you should tackle that immediately in order to, of course, get better results over the day. And if you don't do that, if you just analyze once per day, I can tell you, you're losing out on a lot of money. You maybe will kill products which may be doing pretty well. Plus, you will see, not the profits you want to see eventually. So that brings me up with the following. And that you should always take a look in Shopify in here. So if you go to reports and you click on, wait, if I go to analytics, reports, and then I use, why is it? I think because I decreased my my size of the screen. But yeah, what you basically should do is always look at your analytics properly, also in Shopify. That is super important. So what I always do is I monitor always the analytics in here. Okay, no, how is it going with conversion? 3%, I can tell you, is pretty decent. 5% at the cart might be low, but keep in mind that there's like 7 to 10 products sometimes new per day, which will decrease this amount, of course, from the overall, right? And you should always keep in mind to really basically tackle everything you can tackle in order to get bigger returns in over time. So if I take a look at the sessions over time, and I take a look at the last, if I'm able to, no. Let me see. If I take a look at the sales, and I take a look at the sales over time, you can like really see everything, how it's going. Like for example, the gross sales with like the discounts we have used, are those discounts with the discount app, is it actually working? If yes, what you also shared in one of the earlier videos of the revelation, which one I use, that you can use as well, then you can just try to use discounts on every single product. I can tell you, it really doesn't matter if you have discounts on every product or not with dropshipping, because dropshipping people buy based on urgency and based on scarcity. When there's no urgency, for example, during Black Friday, and you say, hey, you know, my offer will just be discounted forever, then there's no urgency for them to make the purchase. Plus the scarcity, if you have just a few items left, you can, you know, get them to make the purchase quicker without them needing to think about it. But also in terms of discounts, if you don't have like an appealing offer, you won't see the returns coming in. This is super important. And over the 45,000 euros so far this month, we just did 400 euros in return. So that's below 1%. And I'm in the fashion niche. So people always telling me, you know, you cannot sell in the fashion niche because this or that, the returns are very high. I can tell you, if you do proper quality checks with your supplier, plus you're just, you know, you're not selling any trash shit products, you won't see like that much of returns, because you have monitored that properly in advance, and you can actually sell those products by some good analyzations on the product itself from yourself. Don't rely only on your agent by just having them say, oh, the quality is good. With fashion, quick tip to you guys, if you do it as well, always put your product on a mannequin before you scale it. Ask them to make a picture of it, send it to you, so you can do the quality check yourself if you're not 100% sure if the ad creatives and the images on your product page are basically the same as what you're actually delivering. If you want to do long-term business, guys, you need to know what you're selling. If you don't know what you're selling and you're just relying on data or things that your agent is telling you, I can guarantee you will never be able to scale long-term, because it will affect your customer experience, which will get your basically your customer lifetime value will drop immediately because you're selling trash. Plus you're cutting yourself in your own fingers, because I can have 10,000 euros in sales and maybe I get 9,000 euros in return in refunds. So that's not what you want. You always want to monitor things properly, even more when you're scaling before you scale. And this will actually bring you the results that you want in the shortest amount of time, because that is possible with dropshipping. But you need to take ownership of it and need to be really tracking everything yourself as well properly. So I got a few winners right now. This one got a 5 ROAS. This one is actually selling from the very beginning already. If we take a look at maximum, it spent 5,000 so far with a well over 3 ROAS. Keep in mind, these purchases might be like 274 showing up, right? If we take a look in here, this is also why I want to show you guys that you should not always only rely on Facebook, and you can maybe use a third-party app like TrackB, for example, to actually come up with these kinds of I will also pull up like a TrackB link, by the way, in the comments, or let's say below, because this is like a tool that you can use to actually proper track your purchases, your everything, your ROAS, and based on that you can scale accordingly. If you don't know what your numbers are and you're going to scale based maybe on let's say this number with the 2.56 ROAS, which could be profitable, but on track B it's actually showing, which is like 100% accurate tracking, that you have just an 1 ROAS, so there are like more purchases count than are up in here, or on the other side you might have 12 orders while only 6 showing up at Facebook. You will never be able to scale properly because you're not relying on accurate data. So that's why like such a platform to use is super important long term. And yeah, to show you guys 274 so far for this product. If I take a look at Shopify, we just got another sale, then I can show you that that specific product, if I take a look at analytics and I just do maximum, let's do last 12 months. Oh, what is this? No comparison. Okay, this is from the 1st of October, of course. So if I take a look at like since we started the store, 45,000 euros, and if I take a look at that product, got 343 orders. So that means there are 100 and a bit less, like 80 or something products orders missing. So this ROAS is actually around 5 to 6 instead of 3. So based on that, you should really rely on 2 platforms to analyze on. That's my biggest tip. Facebook, first of all, combined with TrackB or another third party, which you can actually accurately track your ROAS and your other KPIs, plus Shopify. If you don't do this in Shopify and you're not scaling the right products, you're either overspending or you're just missing out on a lot of let's say data, and from that point as well, just proper data that you can scale from or kill your products with, to get the most out of your products and to just kill the doubters and bad performing campaigns and products as soon as possible. Because eventually you can have, like I said, a lot of revenue, right? That looks pretty nice. But if you have 9,000 euros in sales, then that profit will just be very low. And this revenue will just feed your ego. And the profits, like I always say, will basically feed your family. And that's eventually what we want as advertisers, of course, because we can have a lot of revenue, but if you have no profits, you have nothing left to actually live from. So that's super important, and that's something that I just want to show you guys as well. But yeah, this is just a quick update about the store so far. Today is 100% sure going to be a record day, and yeah, keep you guys in a loop. Hope this was valuable, and then see each other a bit later today and tomorrow when I will recap the entire weekend as well. Have a good day ahead, guys.